2020 was a pretty successful year for the Toronto Raptors. They were one game shy of an Eastern Conference Finals berth, and all season they proved that they could compete with the best teams in the East. But it's clear that without a transcendent superstar, they are not able to excel against their competition. Without a superstar who can help them close out these tough games, they will continue to fall short. This offseason, the Raptors have a chance to go after another transcendent superstar in Giannis, which made this offseason one of the most important ones for them in recent memory. They have to meticulously sign, trade, and just set up their team perfectly for a star while keeping that competitive balance to make that star want to come there. I mean, it's even going to be tougher this year. They got several contract decisions about people who have been homegrown in their whole organization from the G League up. They also have to deal with the salary cap possibly dwindling due to the financial losses of the pandemic. Right off the bat, guys, everything revolves around Fred VanVleet, Freddie V. And the thing with Fred VanVleet, that he has always improved, in every single season he's gotten better than he was the last season. He ended this recent season averaging almost 18 points per game, 7 assists, and almost 40% from 3, 39 to be exact. But it's the other qualities that make Fred VanVleet a shaky signing for the Raptors. I mean, we saw this in the recently completed series against the Celtics. The Raptors' lack of size on the perimeter was a huge detriment, as people like Marcus Smart, Kemba Walker, and even Jaylen Brown was able to shoot over the top of the Rockets' guard tandem. It wasn't difficult to pass around either Kyle Lowry or VanVleet. Overall, the defensive capabilities of the Raptors team was dwindled with VanVleet on the court. Now, would I still pay VanVleet 10 to 15 million? Of course. But teams like the Knicks will offer 20 to 25 million, and the Raptors simply cannot stomach that type of contract value, especially for what they want to seek the next year. The Raptors have Norman Powell in the wings. He's a bit taller, he gives them more on defense. He isn't as good of a player as VanVleet is, but they won't be losing too much. And when you do go star hunting for a player like Giannis, you have to be able to make these tough decisions. The next thing they need to do is re-sign Serge Ibaka. Now, this is going to depend on just how much he demands. This is something that they have a lot of wiggle room to do. But it would be an understatement to say that Serge Ibaka was the best center employed by the Raptors this past season. When healthy, he was productive on both ends of the floor, providing rebounding, muscle, and rim protection defensively. Offensively, Ibaka provided the Raptors with about 15 points per game. All things relative though, considering he had to come off the bench and split time with starter Marc Gasol. Combined, him and Gasol made over 48 million this past season. Ibaka was a complete player. Gasol was kind of a shell of himself, but he still gave them something on the defensive end until the playoffs, where he got shredded when he went to drop coverage. Ibaka at age 31 is probably going to ask for a salary bump after his contribution to a champion team in 2019 and a very productive 2020. The Raptors may want to offer him a 2-year deal, 1+1, 1 year guaranteed with a team option for year 2, totaling about 60 million or 30 million a season. Now, I know that is a lot of money, and I just came off of saying VanVleet does not deserve 20 to 25 million from the Raptors. But with Fred VanVleet, he deserves a long-term contract. Fred VanVleet deserves a long-term contract. He's going to ask for that, and that's just not working with the Raptors' current timetable. This gives the Raptors room to decline Ibaka after a single season. By declining the option year on Ibaka, the Raptors would automatically free up 30 million in cap space, depending on other contractual situations. In any event, Ibaka is a productive big man who's, in today's style of NBA play, can stretch the floor and make 3-pointers while also being athletic enough to defend his position. Ibaka will be a welcoming, returning asset for the Raptors, and he accomplishes their goal of staying competitive while trying to court these superstars. And in this specific free agency, I made a prior video of this, there is really nobody to target, nobody who will help take them to the next level. So they are okay with spending about 30 million in dead cap for 1 year. They also have the 29th pick in the draft. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but one of the flaws the Raptors had this season was their size. This is going to be a repeated type of idea. The Raptors were a guard and wingman loaded roster of 6 small forwards. The team did not have an adequate backup to Siakam. With, I think they have Stanley Johnson still on the roster. He's been nailed to the bench all season long. I don't even know if he's on the roster for real. There was also times where both Serge Ibaka and Gasol were injured, and it meant small forward Rondé Hollis-Jefferson had to play center. The Raptors with the 29th pick could select prospect Zeke Naji, a 6'11" power forward / center from Arizona. Even if Naji needs to develop at the G League for 1 or 2 years, the Raptors have done an exceptional job in that department. The Raptors 905 have played a massive role in Fred VanVleet, Siakam, and other young players who regularly contribute to the main roster. They could also go for someone like Mitchell Robinson, who recently signed a very manageable 3-year deal at $4.7 million. He's averaging 2.2 blocks per game, and he could back up Serge Ibaka, while Chris Boucher could back up Pascal Siakam. Next, the Raptors should not trade with Lowry. Riley has aged like fine wine with the Raptors. There have been rough spots along the way in his 8 years in Toronto, but recently I think he's reached legendary status as a Raptors player, especially with the fans. He's not a flashy player, nor is he a top 5 talent in the NBA. Oh, quick plug here, if you're still watching this video, I have a top 30 series that I'm doing. Check it out. Anyways, what he is though is a 6-time NBA All-Star as a Raptor, and he's the heart and soul of the Toronto Raptors franchise. It would be a gut punch to the whole organization to rip him out the lineup before he is either unwilling or incapable of playing at a high level in a Raptors uniform. At age 33, he just completed a season where he averaged almost 20 points, 8 assists, and he will earn $30 million next season, which is a lot. But for the Raptors to remain competitive this season, they need his leadership and experience. And if you do go the route of trading Lowry, I don't know what you're really getting back. You might get a bag of chips and some soda for Lowry, even though his value for the Raptors franchise is immense. And yeah, that is all I have for you today. Just a quick overview. I'll be making more videos on. If you like this, comment down below what you want me to see me do next. As I mentioned before, I'm doing a top 30 NBA players this season, blah, blah, blah. Stay safe. See you soon.